What if the forbidden fruit wasn't an apple? Have you ever heard the saying, "An apple a day keeps the doctor away"? But what if an apple caused humanity's greatest downfall? Today we're diving into one of the most famous stories ever told, Adam, Eve, and the Garden of Eden. But here's a twist. What if the Bible never said anything about an apple at all? Let me ask you, what do you picture when you hear forbidden fruit? A shiny red apple, right? It's everywhere, in art, movies, and even cartoons. But if we open the Bible, the word apple isn't there. Surprised? Stay with me, because we're about to peel back the layers of this ancient story and uncover a theory that might just change the way you see it forever. We'll explore what the Bible actually says, where the idea of the apple came from, and a fascinating theory about what the forbidden fruit might really mean. Could it represent something far deeper? Something about knowledge, human nature, or even sexuality? Let's begin. What the Bible actually says. The story of Adam and Eve is found in Genesis, chapters 2 and 3. Here's the summary. God creates Adam and places him in the Garden of Eden, a paradise filled with every kind of tree. Two trees stand out, the tree of life and the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. God tells Adam, "You can eat from any tree, but not from the tree of knowledge. If you eat its fruit, you'll die." Later, God creates Eve as Adam's companion. A serpent tempts Eve to eat the fruit from the forbidden tree. She does and gives some to Adam. Suddenly, their eyes are opened, they realize they're naked, feel ashamed, and try to hide from God. As punishment, God banishes them from Eden, introducing pain, hard work, and mortality into their lives. But here's the kicker. The Bible never says the fruit was an apple. It just calls it the fruit of the tree. So why do we think of an apple? Where did the apple come from? The apple connection likely comes from a mix of language and art. In Latin, the word for apple is malum, and the word for evil is also malum. This wordplay may have influenced early Christian art and stories. Plus, apples were common in Europe, where much Christian art was created. They became the perfect symbol for temptation, sweet, shiny, and hard to resist. But what if the forbidden fruit wasn't meant to be taken literally? What if it was a metaphor? A new theory, the forbidden fruit as a metaphor. Let's consider a bold idea. The forbidden fruit wasn't a piece of fruit at all. What if it represented something deeper, like knowledge, free will, or even human sexuality? One, the knowledge of good and evil. The Bible says eating the fruit gave Adam and Eve knowledge. In Hebrew, the word know, yada, can also mean sexual intimacy. Could the forbidden fruit symbolize a sexual awakening? 2, shame and nakedness. After eating the fruit, Adam and Eve immediately realize they're naked and feel ashamed. Why would eating a literal fruit cause this? Their reaction suggests something deeper, perhaps a new awareness of themselves and their bodies. 3, cultural context. In ancient cultures, gardens, trees, and serpents often symbolized fertility and sexuality. Could the story of Eden be tapping into these ideas? Exploring the impact of this theory. If the forbidden fruit represents sexual knowledge, the story of Adam and Eve takes on a new meaning. Instead of focusing on breaking a rule, it becomes a story about growing up, moving from innocence to experience, from childhood to adulthood. This interpretation doesn't just explain the story differently, it also raises big questions about how we see human nature, sin, and even sexuality. Of course, not everyone agrees with this theory. Here are some challenges. 1. God's command to multiply earlier in Genesis. God tells Adam and Eve to be fruitful and multiply. If sex was forbidden, why would this command exist? 2. Other meanings of knowledge. The knowledge of good and evil could represent more than sexuality. It might symbolize moral awareness, free will, or self-consciousness. These counter-arguments remind us that the Bible's stories are layered with meaning, open to interpretation, and often reflect the culture and time in which they were written. Why this matters today. What makes this theory so fascinating is how it challenges us to think about ancient stories in new ways. It encourages us to ask questions, dig deeper, and reflect on what these stories mean for us today. Could the forbidden fruit be more than just a fruit? Could it represent the moment humans stepped into self-awareness, responsibility, and the complexities of life? These questions don't just deepen our understanding of the Bible, they help us understand ourselves. If you found this video thought-provoking, don't stop here. Keep exploring, keep questioning, and keep learning. And if you enjoyed this journey into one of the Bible's most famous stories, Make sure to hit the like button and share your thoughts in the comments. We've got plenty more videos that dive into fascinating Bible stories, alternative interpretations, and deep questions about life and faith. So if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. That way you'll never miss an upload. Thank you for joining me on this exploration of the Garden of Eden. Until next time, keep questioning, stay curious, and see you in the next video.